Welcome back to the Days of Our Lives channel. Today, we're diving into a jaw-dropping twist that's set to shake up Salem like never before. This shock will unfold when Rachel remembers everything. What will Rachel do? In the heart-pounding world of Days of Our Lives, young Rachel Black finds herself at the center of a whirlwind mystery that could unravel her family's fragile bonds. After fleeing from home in a fit of confusion, Rachel's sudden vanishing act leaves everyone scrambling, especially her father, Brady Black, who fears the worst for his troubled daughter. As the pieces start falling into place, whispers around Salem suggest Rachel's mind is piecing together fragments of a night she'd rather forget, leading to a disappearance that feels all too deliberate. Brady's anger toward Kristen DiMera boils over as he accuses her of burying secrets that could have spared their loved ones from unnecessary pain. He points fingers at Kristen for letting Rachel take the stand and for allowing Johnny DiMera to teeter on the edge of imprisonment, all while hiding crucial truths. But in a surprising turn, it emerges that Kristen only pieced together the puzzle recently. Rachel was the one who fired the shot that wounded E.J. DiMera. This bombshell forces Kristen into a corner, where she hatches a desperate plan to shield her child from the fallout, even if it means stepping into the line of fire herself. Kristen's quick thinking leads to a bold confession, painting her as the culprit to divert attention from Rachel, who remains blissfully unaware due to a foggy memory lapse. Spoilers hint at Marlena's expert diagnosis of dissociative amnesia, a mental block triggered by the trauma of that chaotic evening where Rachel's innocent curiosity turned deadly. Imagine the scene: Rachel, in her pink bathrobe, confronting EJ with a mix of childlike defiance and fear, demanding answers about her missing grandmother. The gun goes off in a haze of panic, leaving EJ bleeding and Rachel's mind shattered, erasing the horror to protect her fragile psyche. Yet, the calm before the storm won't last. Days of Our Lives teases a pivotal moment when Rachel's suppressed memories surge back like a tidal wave, flooding her with vivid recollections of that fateful encounter. Picture her wide-eyed realization as flashes of the dimly lit room, the cold metal of the weapon, and EJ's shocked expression replay in her mind, each detail sharper than the last. This resurgence isn't just a plot device, it's a catalyst for Rachel's inner chaos, blending guilt with a child's confusion over actions she barely comprehends. The emotional avalanche hits Rachel hard, layering on waves of sorrow and self-doubt that no kid her age should bear. She grapples with the weight of what she's done, her small frame trembling under the burden of regret, wondering how something so accidental could spiral into such destruction. In a fresh twist, fans speculate Rachel might even confide in a trusted ally like her grandmother Marlene, seeking solace in therapy sessions that peel back the layers of her trauma, perhaps uncovering hidden motives tied to her family's endless feuds. Given Rachel's track record of bolting when things get tough, another runaway episode seems inevitable. Envision her slipping away from Brady and Marlena's watchful eyes in the dead of night, her backpack stuffed with snacks and a favorite toy. Driven by an overwhelming need to escape the storm inside her head, Brady, heart-pounding, launches a frantic search, enlisting help from Salem's finest while battling his own demons of parental failure. But what if her disappearance has a simpler, more poignant explanation? Spoilers point to Rachel sneaking off to Statesville, hailing a ride just like she did before, desperate for her mother's comforting embrace amid the confusion. Remember that tearful prison visit from Rachel's past? She dialed up an Uber from Brady's phone, tears streaming as she begged the guards for a moment with Kristen, her pleas melting even the sternest hearts. History could repeat itself in dramatic fashion, with Rachel determined to confront her mom after the memories crash in. Imagine the guards relenting once more, ushering the distraught girl into the visiting room where Kristen awaits, her face lighting up despite the bars between them. In this emotional reunion, Rachel might blurt out her truth, insisting she recalls every harrowing detail and refusing to let Kristen rot in jail for a crime she didn't commit. "I shot it, not my mom," could be the 6 heartfelt words that shatter the deception, freeing Kristen while exposing Rachel's accidental role. Kristen, ever the fierce protector, might whisper urgings to stay silent, but Rachel's budding sense of justice could push her to argue back, demanding honesty in a family drowning in lies. No matter the path, Rachel's full awakening to her culpability is a guaranteed game-changer in this day's storyline. The terror of that knowledge could spark wild drama, from heated family confrontations to unexpected alliances forming in Salem's underbelly. Perhaps Rachel's confession draws in unlikely supporters, like a sympathetic EJ who softens at the sight of his niece's remorse, or even Johnny stepping up to defend her innocence. As the saga unfolds, Rachel's journey through memory recovery and its ripple effects promises edge-of-your-seat tension. Will she vanish again, only to resurface with revelations that upend everything? Days of Our Lives spoilers promise she confront the real shooter herself and wrestle with the aftermath, so stick around for the explosive developments brewing in Salem. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button for more scoops. A dramatic recap of Tuesday's Days of Our Lives, secrets, surprises, and family bonds in Salem. Hello, dear readers. If you're like me and have been following the twists and turns of Days of Our Lives for years, you know that every episode brings a mix of romance, intrigue, and heartfelt family moments. This beloved soap opera, set in the charming yet chaotic town of Salem, never fails to keep us on the edge of our seats. In Tuesday's episode, we saw passions ignite, secrets bubble to the surface, and some unexpected decisions that could change lives forever. I'll walk you through it all step by step, adding a bit more detail to make the drama come alive, just as if we were chatting over a cup of tea. Let's dive in, shall we? Our story begins in the cozy confines of a room at the Salem Inn, where the morning light filters through the curtains, casting a soft glow onto figures tangled in the sheets. Philip Kyriakis, that handsome and often troubled businessman, slowly opens his eyes to find none other than the fiery Gabby Hernandez lying beside him. Oh, what a night it must have been. They start chatting about how it all began so innocently, a simple lunch date that stretched into a leisurely dinner, followed by a relaxing glass of wine as the evening wore on. Before they knew it, one thing led to another, and well, let's just say the sparks flew in ways neither expected. Philip, ever the charmer with a hint of vulnerability, stumbles over his words a bit, perhaps regretting a slip of the tongue or two from the night before. But Gabby, with her bold and confident spirit, isn't one to let awkwardness linger. She flashes him a playful smile and suggests, in her sultry way, that he might want to put that mouth of his to better use. Without missing a beat, she leans in and pulls him into a passionate kiss, one that reignites the fire from the previous evening. It's moments like these that remind us why Salem is such a hotbed of romance. Chemistry between these two is undeniable, built on years of shared history and unspoken attractions. As the morning progresses, Gabby reluctantly pulls herself away to get dressed. She's not one to show vulnerability easily, but even she admits to being surprised by the deep connection they shared. It's more than just a fleeting encounter. There's a genuine spark that leaves her pondering what might come next. Before leaving, she can't resist one more seductive kiss, sealing the memory of their time together. Philip watches her go, a mix of satisfaction and curiosity on his face. But drama in Salem never stays contained for long. As Gabby steps out into the hallway, adjusting her clothes and trying to compose herself, she swings open the door only to come face to face with a very surprised Belle Black. Belle, Philip's ex-wife and a sharp lawyer known for her poise, stands there with wide eyes. Gabby, caught off guard and not wanting to explain the obvious, mumbles a quick excuse and rushes off down the hall, her heels clicking echoes of embarrassment and excitement. Inside the room, Philip hurriedly throws on his clothes, bracing himself for what he assumes will be an awkward confrontation. He's ready to spill the details if needed, but Belle waves it off with a knowing smile. I don't need to hear about your personal life, Philip, she says gently, respecting his privacy in a way that shows her maturity. After all, their marriage may be in the past, but there's still a bond of friendship there. No, Belle isn't there for gossip. She's come with urgent news that could shake the foundations of Philip's world. In a hushed tone, Belle warns him that someone has been snooping around the details of the highly anticipated Titan DeMera Margera massive business deal that could reshape the corporate landscape in Salem. Her sources have tipped her off, but frustratingly, she can't reveal who the culprit is just yet. This secrecy only fuels Philip's anger. His face reddens, and he paces the room like a caged lion, his voice rising in frustration. Who would dare interfere? He demands, his mind racing through a list of potential enemies. The merger is more than just business to Philip. It's a chance to prove himself, to step out from the shadows of his family's legacy. Belle tries to calm him, promising to dig deeper, but Philip's rage simmers, setting the stage for what could be explosive confrontations ahead. We all know how the Kyriakis temper can lead to trouble. Meanwhile, across town at the Hernandez family home, Gabby is trying to slip in unnoticed after her adventurous night. The house is quiet, but not for long. Her daughter, Ariana, sweet, smart, and growing up so fast, has been waiting anxiously. Ari had been up half the night, worried sick because her mother hadn't come home and hadn't answered any of her frantic text messages. "Mom, where were you?" Ari asks, her voice a mix of concern and teenage exasperation. Gabby, still flushed from her encounter with Philip, tries to play it cool, but Ari is no fool. The pieces fall into place quickly: the rumpled clothes, the late return, the evasive answers. Ari's eyes widen in realization her mom was out with someone, and not just for coffee. The embarrassment hits like a wave. Ari covers her face with her hands, shaking her head as if to block out the image. "Oh, Mom? Really?" she exclaims, her cheeks turning pink. It's one of those awkward parent-child moments that every family faces, but in Salem, even these are laced with drama. In the warm, familiar Hernandez kitchen, with its scent of fresh coffee and lingering breakfast aromas, mother and daughter sit down to talk it out. Gabby, ever the protective parent, explains things as gently as she can, assuring Ari that she's an adult making her own choices. The tension eases into laughter, and Ari shares some big news of her own. She's decided to stay in Salem for school instead of heading back to her other home. Gabby's face lights up with pure joy. Her little girl will be close by. It's a heartwarming moment, reminding us of the unbreakable bonds between mothers and daughters. Ari, beaming with independence, picks up her phone to call her supportive fathers, Sunny and Will. And honestly, couldn't they have shared this news just as easily? But that's family for you. Varyon wants to be involved. After the call, Ari drops another surprise. She's moving into the dorms at school. "At least now you won't have to sneak back into the house after, sleeping with a stranger," she teases with a wink. Gabby laughs it off, but there's a touch of pride in her eyes. Ari is growing up, navigating her own path, and Gabby couldn't be happier, even if it means a bit more freedom for her own adventures. Shifting scenes to another corner of Salem, we find Stephanie Johnson arriving home to an unexpected sight. Alex Kyriakis hard at work in her living room. Alex, Philip's brother and a key player in the family business, looks up with a mix of relief and curiosity. Stephanie, with her calm and professional demeanor, delivers some much-needed good news. The person overseeing the investigation into the Titan and Mara merger has agreed to call it off. She can't share the specifics confidentially and all that, but she assures him it's truly over. Alex lets out a deep sigh, the weight lifting from his shoulders. In a town where corporate espionage is as common as morning coffee, this is a rare victory. But we can't help wondering, is it really the end, or just a pause in the storm? Finally, the episode wraps with a tense encounter involving Steve Johnson, Stephanie's father and a seasoned private investigator known for his no-nonsense attitude. Steve tracks down Gabby and returns what appear to be her personal restraints, perhaps items from a past scheme or a metaphorical nod to her wild ways. Though the details remain murky in true soap fashion, with a stern look, he urges her to pack up and leave Salem for good. "It's time to move on, Gabby," he says, his voice firm but caring, like a protective uncle. But oh, this is Gabby Hernandez we're talking about, woman who thrives on drama and never backs down from a challenge. As Steve walks away, leaving her alone with her thoughts, Gabby crosses her arms and mutters to herself with a sly grin, "I'm definitely going to call it off." Wait, call what off? The merger snooping, her budding romance, or something else entirely? Her words hang in the air like a cliffhanger, promising more intrigue in episodes to come. And there you have it, friends, a Tuesday full of steamy mornings, family revelations, business threats, and those signature Salem surprises. Days of Our Lives continues to weave its magic, blending the excitement of forbidden passions with the warmth of family ties. What will happen next? Will Philip uncover the snoop? Can Gabby balance her love life with motherhood? Tune in tomorrow, and let's find out together. Until then, stay cozy and keep those tissues handy for the tears and cheers.